Term sheet. Term sheet. Term sheet. What is a term sheet? A term sheet is the terms, the legal sort of ramifications that you're being offered when a venture capitalist is trying to buy equity in your company. The major terms that most startups are looking for: how much money investors are putting in, the amount of equity that the investor is trying to own at the end of the financing round. Those are the major terms, but there are other things like liquidation preferences and certain other preference rights that are key sort of considerations as to whether the terms are good and standard terms for a round of investment. When you get a term sheet from an investor, they normally give you just a certain number of days or weeks in order for you to either accept those terms or to allow them to move on and look for other deals and allow you to focus on the other investors that you would rather spend your time with. Many term sheets give you no longer than a week or 2 weeks to respond and to confirm that you accept those terms. A lot of reason for that is that investors don't want to give you a term sheet and then have you shop it around to get better terms from someone else. And so the term sheet will give perhaps a week, maybe 2 weeks for you to accept the terms that are being offered. People do at that stage try to shop the deal, try to take that term sheet and try to talk to other investors and say, oh, will you give me better terms? The biggest terms that startups are traditionally looking for are simply, more capital. They're trying to raise more capital and giving up less equity, less dilution of the company. But traditionally, in a term sheet, the investors at a later stage term sheet will be looking for between 20 and 35% of the company in exchange for whatever money they're putting in. Also, at very late stage, after you've gone profitable, perhaps lower percentages of the company, like say 10 or 15% of the company. And at early stages, where you're not necessarily raising as much capital, very small amounts of capital, you may only be asked to give up, say, 15% or 20% of the company for the first $1 million or first couple $100,000, whatever you're able to raise. And that is a term sheet. VC Lingo. Lingo. Term sheet. Term sheet.